Alright guys, a bit of a quick video today on something I saw that just really pissed me off, and it pissed a lot of other people off too, and I feel like I need to preamble it a little bit, otherwise people are maybe gonna call me like a hypocrite, but I just wanna say that there's a difference between hating on a thing that you don't like or criticizing something that you don't enjoy and making fun of someone else for enjoying that thing. I'm not saying that people aren't open to be criticized for various things, but there's a very big difference between like criticizing someone's behavior or how they're acting or something that you might not agree with, or if you don't think they're being genuine, and then actually just making fun of somebody because they enjoy something. And that's the situation that we're seeing here today. So yesterday on Twitter, actually it was 2 days ago that this actually got posted, this random, I don't even want to say her name, I don't want to give her any more notoriety, but she has, I think, about 40, almost 50,000, yeah, she's just under 50,000 Twitter followers, and she posted this video of a guy who was reacting to the Star Wars trailer, and he was really into it. And, you know, I know in the original video, a lot of people were like, well, this isn't genuine, this is a Disney shill, but some people do genuinely get that much joy from these things, and there's things that I see that get me that passionate, that get me that hype, that get me that excited. Like, I remember during, like, the Infinity War trailer when the Guardians showed up at the end, and I was like, that was a very genuine cheering reaction for me. It was very exciting to me, and there's a lot of things in the nerd space that make me very excited, and there's a lot of bands that release music that get me very excited, very passionate, in the same way that this guy was. But basically, she takes a clip of his video, and that's what makes it even worse. It's not even like she just made this like random, not even directed tweet at just like a group of people, which you see pretty commonly. You get all these people being like, oh, you like Marvel and Game of Thrones and Star Wars? I can't even be bothered to waste my time with these things, because, you know, like, hating on things that are popular doesn't make you interesting. Just if you hating on things that are like really big and important to a lot of people is part of your personality trait, it's kind of sad. But it's not even like she just did one of these general tweets that I see all the time. It was literally took a section of this guy's video, retweeted it to all of her followers with the caption, "Star Wars and superhero movie obsession culture has revealed a whole new population of undateable men. Might be worse than men who wear cargo shorts." And then posts the video of this guy. Now, it's one thing if you're like, I personally don't want to date somebody who's that into video games, or I don't personally want to date somebody who's that into like these kind of movies, but like, it doesn't make you a deeper person, and it doesn't make your opinion more valid because that's the opinion that you have. It actually just kind of makes you terrible, if I'm being completely honest. It just makes you a shitty person. Like, if you don't want to date somebody like that, that's fine, but like, you know, that's your loss for basically just completely blacklisting an entire group of people just because of like the media they enjoy consuming. But honestly, in the end of the day, better for them because they don't even have to put up with you attempting to date them. So luckily, a lot of people did come at her for this and these opinions. Unfortunately, there were quite a few likes too, but a lot of people kind of came to this guy's defense, because that's, to me, what is like the really horrible thing. So I said, wow, how sad is your life that you have to try and insult someone who's just genuinely happy and excited about something that they're passionate about. This is just pathetic. There's a lot more personal attacks, like, you know, you're the type of girl that guys cheat on with more interesting people and just various things like that. But a lot of it really just came down to the fact that like, you're just an ugly person. You're a very ugly person. If your idea of making a point is bringing someone else down who's done nothing to you, this isn't like there's like some beef and this person came at you and you're now just kind of like making fun of them, or this is kind of like a back and forth insult type thing. This is a guy who just has a YouTube channel where he does unboxings, he does reactions, he does different things like that. And whether or not you enjoy that type of content, like if you want to say like, hey, maybe you're exaggerating these reactions or I don't believe you, that's one thing. But to actually just make fun of somebody who seems super just genuine and excited about something that's been important to them their whole life, and just try to tear them down on that level is horrible. Like, this guy happens to be married. I know like a lot of people were like insulting her, saying the guy seems super cool and that there's nothing more attractive than people being very passionate about things, which I agree with as somebody who gets very passionate about things. I love seeing that passion in other people. You know, she was just throwing that typical, well, why don't you date him then? That's not a fucking argument, you terrible person. And then she starts putting out the whole like, well, I'm getting death threats now. I'm sorry, like, I've been through this before. You getting death threats or somebody issuing you death threats is never okay. Like, it is, if you disagree with somebody on the internet, or even if you think somebody's done something really, really, really horrible, a death threat is not the answer for multiple reasons. And even just from the standpoint that you might care about as somebody who would want to issue a death threat to somebody, it martyrs them. So like you're trying to bring them down, but by you actually issuing that level of insult at somebody, you're just martyring them. You're giving them a platform to stand on. You're giving them something that they can turn themselves into a victim on. And this woman is not a victim. She is just a small, shallow, horrible person who derives enjoyment about making other people feel bad about themselves. And it's very apparent in the rest of her tweets as well. And it's just really sad to see. And I mean sad as in pathetic. You're pathetic. But again, back on that statement, it's never okay to issue death threats, but you cannot sidestep genuine criticism over the horrible things you say and do because you start to see death threats. Just because it's not okay that somebody's sending you those death threats, and it's never gonna be okay that somebody's sending you that death threat, does not negate the shitty thing that you did or said. And the sooner the people get you onto that, the better it'll be. Like I said, I've received death threats for nothing at all. I've received death threats because somebody thought I didn't know who Axl Rose was. People will issue death threats to you over the dumbest things. So to try to make that the soapbox you're gonna stand on is just sad. So like, again, it's fine if you're not a fan of Marvel movies, or if you find that people who have like really, you know, big, genuine, passionate reactions about, you know, pop culture things, if that's like cringy to you, that's fine. You don't have to date them, but you also don't have to like take a section of somebody's video and put it out there publicly to your incredibly large following to try to bring them down to make your point. It's completely unnecessary. You'd be just as uninteresting if you hadn't directed it at anyone specific, but in this case, you actually had to just attack a completely innocent person who is apparently already dealing with a little bit of shit because apparently that Star Wars reaction on his end actually blew up, getting a lot of people just being really rude to the guy. So I guess if you're a fan of that kind of content, if you do like kind of just supporting people who do different unboxings or just reactions to different pop culture stuff, I'll have his links down below. If you're not into that kind of stuff and you do just kind of think that his reaction's over the top, like don't send him hate either. Like, can we just all be better than that? Also, don't send this person hate. You know I responded to her, but like, again, do not give her an excuse to make a martyr out of herself. Just go on knowing that a lot of people think she's a very sad individual, and maybe one day she'll wake up and realize the damage that she's done. And the only good thing about this is that it did allow a lot more support to come out for this guy, as is often the case in these social media situations. It doesn't always work out that way, but I would like to say that this is kind of a nice turnaround, that I think he is getting a lot more positive attention from it, and there's a lot of people specifically reaching out to him to like offer support, and I think that's a really great thing. So thank you all so much for watching. Again, like I'm saying, it's okay to like not enjoy content. It's okay to criticize, even make fun of different content that you don't like. Like, that's totally okay. I clearly do it, but you don't have to bring someone else down to shit talk something that you don't like. But I say that full well knowing that one of my next videos is basically going to be like insulting an entire genre of a thing that's been slowly building out there in the real world, and I hope it doesn't get worse. But again, I wouldn't be making fun of the people who watch it. I'm just making fun of the fact that it exists. But anyways, that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments section down below. But yeah, I think that people can just take a lesson from this kind of thing. I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to be that genuinely excited about something and just that happy about something. And some people, I feel, have lost their ability to enjoy things to that extent. So maybe we could all just take a little lesson from it. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all later.